Still have a lot to do, I still have to put away the chairs. But anyway, I've got all the chores. Or anyway, it's up to me to do them all. I still have to put my clothes today. All in all, reality is cats, like an alley cat at your park. But now I gotta do your part. I got a day job and a night job and an interview at 5. You've gotten rid of both boyfriends and you've given me the green light. I got a day job and a night job and an afternoon away. You just waved a hand and we're engaged, you say. I've been up since 4 AM and finishing this at midnight. After this thing I should sell it and call it quits when the getting's good. I took a night at your new club today to take a break away from the rats. But now I got your locker stool and your car keys in my cart. I pick up the pieces left on the floor while you walk away like you don't care no more. I'm tired of cleaning every mess you make, slowly losing patience with every break. Every promise broken never leads to change. I'm the one who's always left rearranged. Your lack of effort shows clear as the day. I'll be sweeping you out when I find my way. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on. Watching you take credit for the work I do, every single task I pull double through. Your empty words no longer faze me. Soon enough your history, just wait and see. Where's the spark, the dedication gone? I'm carrying weight, dragging us along. No more excuses, your time is past. This sweeps your fate, I'll make it last. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on.
Yo, being a boss ain't just flexing power. It's about moving right, thinking sharp, and leading from the heart. Here's the commandments, learn them, live them, lead them. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you'll never lose your way. Rule 1, don't just talk, show the grind. If your hustle ain't loud, they gon' leave you behind. A leader don't flex if the team don't shine. It's a squad thing, leave no one behind. Rule 2, stand tall, don't trip on the shade. Haters throw stones, but the real don't fade. If you crack under pressure, your crew gon' split. Be the rock in the storm, keep your squad legit. Rule 3, speak truth, even if it sting. Lies build walls, truth build wings. Respect hit different when your words stay bomb. They'll follow you forever long after you gone. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold a crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 4, listen more, talk less, observe. Wisdom hit harder when it's served by the curve. Catch the vibe, read the room, play chess, not dice. A real leader moves quiet, but precise. Rule 5, protect the squad, keep them tight. A snake in the crew can't poison the fight. Cut them off clean, don't let them linger. One fake vibe could pull the whole trigger. Rule 6, know your worth but know your flaws. A king ain't a king if he don't learn laws. Growth ain't weakness, it's the key to the crown. The higher you rise, the harder you hold it down. Rule 7, Don't stunt, just play the role. Real bosses build empires, not just control. Rule 8. Share the wins, don't hold the bread. A team fed right won't turn their heads. Rule 9. Be loyal, never snake your crew. The streets don't forgive when betrayal come through. Stay solid, stay real. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom. And that's the leader code. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom. And that's the leader code.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I want you guys to always remember the theme for 2025. You are your biggest fan. There is nobody who can be a bigger fan of you than yourself. So remember that. That is why I will probably have that as my intro music going for it. I mean, I still maybe every now and then I might use the coach we need one, but you guys have to know that I am my biggest fan, and you have to be your own biggest fan as well, because all the times that you're working, like when you're at work, it's just you who is doing the work. When you are learning, whether you're taking a Python course, whether you're taking cybersecurity, whatever it is you who is doing the work. So you have to be your biggest fan, and I am rooting for you, but I am not. And I will never be your biggest fan because I am my own biggest fan. All right. So welcome to the show. This is Q&A night. How is everyone doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Happy to have everyone in here. What up to my guy, Mr. Technique? What's up, your car? We got me, Mysify, in the building. Good evening. So we're going to be answering questions tonight. We'll get into it. Let me just get through some quick announcements. I just had to say that you have to be your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest fan because no one else will be. You might think that they are, but they will not be. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's jump into our agenda for tonight. All right. So we're going to be going for about 2 hours. We have 8 questions, unless somebody calls in with a question, but we have 8 questions that we want to get through. We're going to do our best to do that. Let me see. All right. So first and foremost, thank you so much to all of the subscribers to the channel. We have been getting some new subscribers here because we're doing some new things for the new year, new work. Yep. New year. No, it is not new year, new us. We are the same damn people that we have been since day one, since the day we came out the womb. The same people. We have the same, our DNA didn't change. We're the same people. But guess what? It is a new year, 2025, which means new work. All that you did in 2024, it should have been to build upon 2025. But if you did not do that, well, it's a new year. That means new work. It's time to get to work. Leave the past behind. 2024 is over. We're turning the page. Turning the page on 2024. Let's get it in 2025. No excuses. No, zero, zilch, nada excuses. All right? So let's do this. So, thank you to all the subscribers, the new ones, those who have been with me for a while. I was talking to Don earlier today, and he said, you know what? It's been a year since we got connected. And I honestly feel that it was way earlier than that, because he said that's what he saw on LinkedIn. I honestly believe it was way earlier than that since I've been connected with Don. Don is my guy. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate Don. We have done some crazy work together. And I learned so much from Don. So I just want to highlight Don because he told me, it's been a year since we connected. Like, a year? I was like, only a year? I was like, only a year? No way. Shout out to my guy, Don. So shout out to all the early subscribers. Shout out to those who are new. Shout out to those who watch in the clouds. Shout out to those who are in the chat. You guys are absolutely amazing. All right, and shout out to my tech barbarians, my Patreon members, actually, my tech barbarians, tech prodigy, technical explorers, those that I work with one-on-one, hooking them up with some amazing game, and seeing all the progress that they do, it is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Alexis. I didn't even add it to my notes, but I do have to. Let me add it to my notes right now. I gotta mention Alexis in a little bit. All right, cool. I got it on my notes. All right, so shout out to you all, and shout out to the Patreon members. Shout out to my tech mercenaries, the YouTube members. Shout out to you guys.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for all the hard work that you do day in and day out. I just appreciate all of those who support the channel. All right, let me do some quick housekeeping. Let's go with all right, so Patreon updates. I'm going to be uploading the resume meetup that I had what was that? I think it was it last week or the week? I think it was last week, but I'm going to upload that tomorrow. to the Patreon so that whoever can see what we got going on over there. We ended up having some conversations about federal jobs. Shout out to my guy Magnetar. Shout out to Magnetar. Hooked us up with some, like, Magnetar is my federal jobs go-to person. All right, I'm just saying. He like, and he does help with resumes as well for federal jobs. Let me see. All right, large language model course tomorrow. We're going to continue on that. I'll show like once, but we're going to continue on that. Tomorrow we're going to be working on the project where we are building out a web page summarizer. I'll share a little quick screen right now. So this is what we were working on yesterday. We got all the way up to here. So this was Magnetar saying, hey, search for USA jobs. Let's get that. So we did that yesterday. We're going to continue with that tomorrow, where we're going to get to our next section of defining our system prompt, stuff like that. So a lot of good stuff going on with that. So that's going to be tomorrow morning. Sorry, about 7, I think 7:30, we're going to get started on that. So 7:30, 7:40-ish, we get started Eastern time. So join over there. Let me see what else. All right, let's go back to full screen. Ethical hacking. I have to schedule that, but we are starting ethical hacking course on Thursday. We're going to be installing our virtualization machine, and we're going to be installing Kali Linux so that we can log into Kali Linux and start to do stuff, right? We're gonna start to do stuff. It's gonna be a great class. I'm excited to get into ethical hacking, which we have a question about that as well, about penetration testing. So we shall see. Let me see. And so that's that. So yeah, tomorrow morning, 7:30-ish, 7:40, 7:45, large language model, the project web page summarizer. Thursday, ethical hacking. Also tomorrow, releasing an overview for our our software explorations concept and overviews on what large language models are, why they're useful, all of that good stuff, right? So that is the plan for the rest of the week. All right, now, quick hits, right? Quick hits. That song that played at the beginning, the leader song, that song was from Don. When he sent it to me, I listened to like the first 30 seconds. I'm like, you know what? Send it over. I need to play that on the show. And then I heard the whole thing for the first time while I was playing it. I was like, this is absolutely amazing. Don, can I add that to my Frenemies album? Dropping April 15th. 2025, Frenemies. That's gonna be the name. Can I add that to my Frenemies album? Right? I just gotta know, Don. Can I add that to Frenemies? Let me know. And then, so another announcement. I am prepping for, as of now, I'm prepping for competition in March for Jiu-Jitsu. So it's gonna be a little bit crazy the next couple of months, but we will not miss. All right. And lastly, or not lastly, shout out to Alexis. I was just talking to her a little bit earlier, and she is doing some great things. I am very, very proud of Alexis. My friend Alexis, a little stubborn at times, but she is amazing. So shout out to Alexis, doing some great things, and we're going to strategize and plan in 2025 so that we can, we can have a great year. So, but I'm very, very proud of you, Alexis. So keep up the great, amazing work. Right now, lastly, most importantly, and when no, with all due respect to Alexis, to the competition, to Don Song, with all due respect, right? This is the most important part. I've been sad for the past couple of weeks now because my smoker, my pellet grill, was not working, and I thought it had. Let me just put it like this. Let's just do it like this, right? Not this. This. I performed surgery last night and today on my pellet grill. I thought it was down and out, but I figured out how to take it apart and how to replace the motor, and it is back in commission, and I am absolutely ecstatic. It was a rough, painful couple of weeks for me because I thought it was over. I thought it was down and out, and a little bit of a YouTube search and Amazon order and taking one piece apart, putting it back in, and we were back in business. I'm telling you, me and my wife, we were working on this pellet grill. Even jammed my finger last night taking something apart. It was an absolute mess, but the pellet grill is back. And that's the final, announcement that I had to share, because it was gonna be hard for me. It was gonna be hard for me. Like, I was like planning to cancel streams and stuff like that, because my heart was heavy. My heart was heavy. But we're back in business. We are back in business. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So, here's how the show format is. After I share the show format, I'm gonna read the chat. Let me turn on the calling link, because I did plan on turning on the calling link. Let me see. Call in link is, hold on. Turning on the link. And the link is pinned to the top of the chat. So if you want to call in, feel free to do so. But yeah, so the way we're going to do it, we're going to do 2 questions. So I'm going to check the chat next. 2 questions, chat. 2 questions, chat, so that we can get through all the 8 questions, because I do not need my video editor saying like, hey, you only gave me 6 videos on this Tuesday night. Where are the rest of the videos? All right. So, because if I'm strict with my video editors, I need them to be strict with me as well. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Calling link is open. That's the format. The regular like video, share video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Check out techcoachralph.dev if you are in need of one-on-one coaching or additional technical career-wise information. Let me know. All right, let me check the chat real quick. See what we got going. All right. Let me see. Oh my goodness, got a lot going on here. All right. So Yakar says that he cursed out 3 people at Walmart. What? No compassion 2025. All right, I hear you. I hear you. Compassionless 2025. I hear you. Says Rule 9, just cause they just want to waste your time, because wasting my time is a felonious crime. Whoa, that escalated quickly. And nobody can follow the leader when they're leading from behind. Just keep God first and stay up on your grind. Or I meant. All right, that's the leader code. We got Me Mystify in the building. Good evening, Me Mystify. How are you doing? We got Sarah in the building. What's up, Sarah? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. We got Alexis in the building. Everybody was wondering where you were, Alexis. Everybody was wondering where you were. We got Chris Parks in the building. What's up, Chris? Happy to have you here. And Sarah says, any of you in Chicagoland? I am definitely not in Chicagoland. It says Ralph is in Florida robbing Wendy's with an alligator. You know what, Yakar? I told you that in confidence. Yakar. Not cool. We got AR Smitty in the building. What's up, AR Smitty?
We the best.
We got my guy Don Johnson. I told you, my guy Don, a year connected on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure we're connected for more than a year, but shout out to my guy Don with do not do that command. Do not do that command with anything that you do. Do not do that command. Let me see. Your says, shout out to the chasers. Shout out to the bag chasers for answering the call.
Money.
We appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
And Don says, thought LLM was large Ligma model. I don't even know what that is, Don. Let me see. It says, so if we are starting out, I just got my computer. Where should I start? Ooh, that's a tough one. Sarah. Let me start that. I'm gonna come back and answer that one, because that's a pretty tough one. I have to think about that one a little bit more. And we have Life of Tariq in the building. First time on here. I'm a Patreon user, and I want to know, do you have anyone in cloud engineering? I know you're doing things in cybersecurity, but are there anyone in cloud engineering specifically? So I will answer. I can answer this right now. So on Sundays I do DevOps, which is basically cloud engineering, like using Docker, using Kubernetes, using Packer, like configuring like load balancers and stuff like that. But I'm sure in the Discord that you came from, there are like if you ask in the tech channel, I'm pretty sure there's people who are specifically doing cloud engineering. I don't specifically do cloud engineering. I do QA by day and I do everything tech by night. But if you're looking for somebody who is doing cloud engineering specifically, then I mean, I guess I would say to what regard is it to like, are you trying to learn it? Are you in it and trying to network? What exactly is it that you're looking for? But I'm sure that there is help available. Let me see. Don says, life of Tariq, every discipline routes into cloud. Yeah, exactly. Like everything goes into cloud. So it says, not the stakes. Yes, your car. Yes, the car. The snake smoker. The steak smoker. The steak smoker.
Bruh.
It was hard. It was hard, right? Let me see. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Just joined the Patreon, sir. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much, Chris.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Let me see. Have you seen the reviews of CES? I have not seen the reviews of CES 2025. I have been busy working and prepping for shows and going through the courses, so I have not had the chance to sit down. I did see that what's the name of the NVIDIA CEO? He was talking on it, but I haven't had a chance to review all that stuff. So, but that is in my plan to do over the next few days, maybe over the weekend. I shall see. It says, is AR Smitty? I don't know. AR Smitty, are you from Fight Club's AR Smitty? I don't think so. I think you're thinking about somebody else, but I don't think that's him. Let me see. DB Darrow does do cloud. Yes, he does. DB Darrow is a good connection. Says, I'm trying to learn cloud engineering, and yes, I know it is basically DevOps. I mean, so here's the thing with DevOps, right? DevOps is very, very diverse, right? Because there's some development component to it, and then there's some infrastructure component to it, right? So when you're creating all your Docker files and creating your images and stuff like that, that is semi dev heavy. But then when you have to create where you're going to deploy it to, so like last year we spent some time, or actually not even last, well, it is last year, but like just a few weeks ago we spent some time deploying Docker images onto Google Cloud Platform. So all of that stuff has to do with cloud engineering and DevOps. I mean, what I do to I've been using Docker for like the past 10 years now, but the way that actually no, a little less than 10 years, maybe like 8 years. But what I do is, but I just learn how to use the different things as regards to it. So I would say if you want to learn, I think I should have the DevOps course in the description. But that's I would say start off with that course, right? Start off with that DevOps course and start learning about Docker, start learning about Kubernetes, start learning about all that type of stuff, because that you're going to be using the cloud for that. You're going to be using Azure. You're going to be using Google Cloud Platform. You're going to be using AWS, and follow on the Sunday show so that you can get a good understanding of all that stuff. Let me see. We got the one, the only, my best friend.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mitch is in the building. New year, look who's here. I am new here. You might be new, Mitch, but you are still and forever will be my best friend.
Shake your bank.
Let me see. Don says that DevOps is broad. So many stacks, it will change from company to company. Yep, that is true. And Chris Park says DevOps is development operations. Still studying for my CompTIA exam. Just making sure your vocab is 100% on point. You're good to go, Chris. You're good to go. It gets worse in DevSecOps. All right, Don. You know what, Don? All right. You know what, Don? I have a message. I have a message for you, Don.
Do not come.
Why are you trying to scare all the people away? Why are you trying to scare the people away? Right? Let's keep it at DevOps, because once they get into DevOps, then they can see how much worse that DevSecOps is. All right, but don't scare all the people away, Don. Oh, my goodness, Don. You see, I'm gonna have to have a chat with Don. All right. All right. Those are all the comments for now. Those are all the comments for now. All right. So let's get started with. Okay, I'll get started with Sarah's question. Actually, let me get started with Sarah's question, because that is actually, I haven't had to think of that question since forever. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a tough one to answer. But I like tough questions, so don't threaten me with a good time, Sarah. Let's get to it. All right, I started. All right, let's do this. Let's do it like this. And we're going to go to over here, and we're going to say,
Another one.
all right, so Sarah asked, so if we are starting out, I just got my computer, where should I start? Whew, okay, so let's put up our timer for this one, right? If you are new to tech and technology, stuff like that, and I guess the first question is, okay, what is it that you're interested in, right? Because if you're just starting out in computers, I probably would say like, all right, so get familiar with navigating the computer. I'd probably start off with like watching some YouTube videos, maybe get like a Udemy 1-2 hour video if you're totally new to computers. If you are not totally new and a little bit more advanced, like let's say you're interested in starting out how to okay, so all right, new to computers altogether. Okay, so if you're new to computers, I would say, all right, let's just do this together. Let's do this together. All right, let's go like this. This is what I would do. And by me doing this, it might give you some insight on where to go. But I would go to, all right, let me share screen real quick. I don't normally share screens on Tuesday nights, but we will tonight. So let's go over to here. And I'm going to go to a website. So I'd go to Google, right? Go to google.com. And I would go to Udemy. And right now they do have a sale going on, right? But I would go to Udemy, right? And I would look for Intro to Computers, right? And they have a massive sale going on right now. So course starting around like $9.99, 3 days left for the sale. I have never bought a Udemy course at full price, I'm just gonna say. And I would say probably something like this, computer fundamental basics, maybe, computer literacy, maybe something that is very like, and if you got like a Windows PC, most likely it's a Windows computer, probably something like this maybe to get started. Let me see. Let's take a look at it. So this is how I pick Udemy courses, right? I would go take a look at how many rating, like what the rating is, right? 4.6, how many people are signed up. So, and then I click on it, and then I would go to, all right. Then I would go to, so then I start scrolling through here, and I'm looking at, what are they gonna talk about? Increase your productivity and professionalism, taught by university professor. Release your fears of using computers. This course is tried and tested and proven. Lifetime course access, all of that good stuff. And then I would watch the welcome to see like what is it they're gonna be talking about. It's an 8-hour course. So that means they're gonna have a lot of information in there. Computer basics, so how computers work, part 1, how computers work, part 2. Like I'll just go through that Windows basics, all that stuff. You probably know some of this stuff, but if you're new to computers, it's good to go through all of this so you can get comfortable with that. And let me see what else. So when I'm looking for a course, I start looking through all of this, right? And then once you feel comfortable with that, then you can start moving on to other things. But definitely, I would say start off with a very, very basic intro to computers. If you're totally new, because I'm sure you probably like used it now here and there, but you might not be too familiar with it. Start there, and that'll get you more comfortable. And then from there, then you can decide, all right, now that I have this basic understanding, what is it that I would want to do? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the link to this course in the chat in case you're interested in it. But right now it's $10 right now, right? So you're not going to find a cheaper course than that. You could look on YouTube, but this is like very put together, comprehensive. You go step by step by step. They probably have little projects that you're going to be working on. So like if I check over mastering the web, so probably like, how to do, like they have different stuff, right? Different stuff that you can do. Hands-on exercise, Ninja level 1, hands-on exercise, Ninja level 2. So I would say to give that course a go, buy it, go through it, learn, and then once you feel comfortable with that, then you choose what your next step is. I think I saw your car say about typing. Let me go back to full screen. But yeah, so I would definitely say that would be a great course. And let me see, your car had said you need to take typing courses as well. You need to be able to type without looking at the keyboard. I think that is I agree that you do need to learn typing, but I think that is a long-term thing to get to. Like there's tons of free typing, like learning how to type websites, which you put your fingers on the keyboard and you don't have to look at it and stuff like that. But definitely getting the basics of computers first is going to be your most important bet to do. All right. So hopefully that helped Sarah. And let me know if you have any other questions, either now or in the future. Do not hesitate to ask, and I will provide the best possible answer to you. All right, let's wrap that question up. That was a great question. I don't think I've ever had that question before, because most people that I run into, they're like semi-familiar with computers, but talking to somebody who is new, that was very, very fun, and we figured it out on the spot. All right, I'm gonna go to, I'm just gonna say what's up to Magnetar. What's up to my guy, Magnetar? I am not gonna read the chat now, though. I'm gonna go to one more question, and then I will move forward to the chat, and we can have some fun and have a conversation. All right, where are my questions? All right, there they are. Nope, not there. I don't see my, hold on, where are my questions? Where are my questions? There we go. All right, so let's get started with our second question of the night, which it was also somebody who sent me this question. So I wanted to, and I'm probably gonna end up doing the same thing that I just did now, right? But it is important that we answer these questions, so let's get to it.
Another one.
So this question was about what is the best cybersecurity certificate for entry-level role for GRC? What does GRC stand for? GRC stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance. We actually did a video about GRC sometime last year talking about cybersecurity. I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. I don't know, but it was. I have done a video on GRC before, right? So since I have a question about GRC, what would be the best certification to get to land an entry-level position in GRC? Because I know it's different positions within it. So that is a great question, and I think that is a question that a lot of people end up having, because they're like, well, I've heard of cybersecurity. So let me start the timer, right? I started the timer. So here's what typically happens, right? So they say someone comes and says, hey, I want to get into tech. What area of tech should I get into? And they say, definitely cybersecurity or cloud engineering. And so it's like, okay, I want to do cloud. I want to do cybersecurity. And like, all right, okay, so how do I get the cybersecurity job? Well, first and foremost, cybersecurity is not a job. It is a industry. It's not a role. It's not a job. It is an industry. And within cybersecurity, there are tons and tons of different roles, right? So GRC just happens to be one of the type of roles: governance, risk, and compliance. So the way that I would answer this question, because I do not study all the different type of certifications that there are, especially for cybersecurity, because I am not a quote unquote cybersecurity professional. I am cybersecurity adjacent. I am cybersecurity aware, because in every company that you work for, you're gonna have to do security trainings and all that type of stuff, yearly security trainings. But but I don't partake in, like, outside of the ethical hacking that we're going to be doing and whatever I did with socks in the past. I don't like do cybersecurity from day to day. So what I would do if I wanted to know, and it's going to be a good lesson on how to research, right? So what I would do if I wanted to like learn more about GRC and certification and stuff like that, because just because you have a certification doesn't mean you're going to get an entry level role. But for GRC, you probably do kind of need a certification. So here's what I do. Here's what we're going to do, right? Let me go to. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to do, right? I am going to do this. Let's do this. I'm going to show you how to research stuff. So I am going to go over to LinkedIn, and I am going to search for GRC analyst, right? And I'm going to search for GRC analyst in, so I'll say Fort Lauderdale because I'm down here in South Florida, right? I'm going to search, right? So let's see what we get for GRC. And let me see. So tech consulting, cybersecurity, threat, vulnerability management. It's kind of like GRC. Well, this is not entry level. So let's do experience. I'm going to put internship and entry level because most of you guys don't really qualify for entry level role just because you got a certification. I'm just going to be Mitch.
I'm just being honest.
Alexis. I got to be honest, right? Most of y'all don't qualify for these entry level roles that you're trying to get. All right. So I'm going to add internship in there. So let's see this compliance analyst for Galacia Capital US on-site Miami, Florida. All right. So let's take a look at that. And I'm going to scroll down to so we have the responsibilities. Let's see what the requirements are. Right. A bachelor's degree in finance, business administration, or related field. So that's a different one. So let's keep looking. Let's keep looking for. So I look at it like, nope, that's not it. Let me see anything GRC. Let me see. So you got to mine it out. You got to mine it out, right? To see, find the job for the position that you want. So have you looked for the position yet? Right. So I don't even see any GRC. Let's see. Let's just search for GRC. Why not? So compliance, because compliance is semi GRC actually. Let me take a look at this compliance one more time, right? So this compliance role, right? Bachelor's degree in finance, business administration, related field, proven with compliance in financial industry, because GRC can be in any role. It doesn't have to be it's not only a tech, because cybersecurity is not only tech, right? Governance, risk, and compliance, that can be in finance. It could be in healthcare, right? So you got to keep that in mind. Cybersecurity is way more than just tech, you know? Let me see. Proven experience working in compliance with financial industry, in-depth knowledge of regulatory frameworks and requirements, strong analytical and problem-solving skills, and professional certification, right? Certified regulatory compliance manager, certified anti-money laundering specialist is a plus, yada, yada, yada. All right, so that's one. Let's take a look at this other one, safety specialist. Let me see what this is. What kind of safety is this? Let me see. SSP to everyone, including subcontractors. This is, let's see. All right, there we go. Product security GRC. Let's take a look at this product security GRC, right? So, responsibility. So, all right. So we seek to a communicative and growth-oriented product security architect with GRC experience to join our highly collaborative product security team, right? So let's scroll down to the requirements, right? General knowledge of information security principles and practices, technical and architecture product security knowledge and experience with regulatory compliance standards and frameworks such as FedRAMP, PCI, all these other stuff, upholding uphold organization, prioritization, and coordination of multiple responsibilities in accordance with upcoming deadlines, appropriate levels of urgency. And guess what? They didn't say any particular. Certificate. Oh, let's see. They didn't say any particular certification, right? They did not say any particular certification that they require, right? So now what we do is I'm gonna just do a Google search, right? So Google search is gonna be what certs required for entry level GRC role. So they would say for an entry level GRC, the most relevant certification is typically CompTIA Security Plus, which that one is, from what I've heard, is not super easy to get, as it provides strong foundation in cybersecurity knowledge, considered ideal for beginners in the field. Others include the GIAC Security Essentials, GSEC, which covers basically information security fundamentals and hands-on skill valuable for GRC roles, right? So I know somebody who tried to take the Security Plus, but they had some trouble with it. So I heard it's not the simplest test from what I've heard. I never took it in myself, but they're saying CompTIA Security Plus. So maybe that is the one that says how to build a resilient career in GRC. You know, I will drop this into the chat as well, in case that would help anybody, right? Boom, there you go. How to get into a GRC role. You know, that's the best I could do for you. That's the best I could do for you as someone who is not in GRC and has no desire to be in GRC. All right, so let's wrap that question up. All right, let me check the chat to see what is going on. So Sarah had said, new to computers, taking notes. Awesome. All right, so we got my guy Magnetar in the building. What's up, Magnetar? All right, everybody, watch what you say. Watch what you say. Actually, no. Before I warn you guys, Magnetar, are you feeling better? I just remember. Are you feeling better? Because I know you were not feeling well yesterday. Are you feeling better? Let me know. And if you aren't feeling better, I hope you do get better. But if you aren't feeling better, then I won't warn everybody to be careful because you're here and you're watching. But if you are feeling better, be on guard because Magnetar is watching, right? And you might see him disappear for 10 minutes. When he comes back, you'll know what happened. All right. So, let me see. Yeah, your card said you need to take a typing course. Magnetar says federal job, government employment, remote telework. The end. I'm happy you got. You must be feeling better. You must be feeling better. Oh my goodness. Let me see. It says they hope to fill me with fear, but fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to power. Wow, that escalated quickly. Let me see. It says I can type. Oh, nice. I can type. I'm buying. Awesome. Buying the class. Awesome. Happy to hear that. And you know, as you go through it, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. We got Spaces in the building. What's up, Spaces? Are you streaming every day now? I have been streaming almost. I think the only day I don't stream is Friday. I don't stream on Friday, but I stream just about every day. Monday, Wednesday in the mornings, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday in the mornings, Tuesday, Thursday in the evenings, and Sunday in the afternoon. We're working on DevOps. Sunday is for DevOps. Thursday is going to be for ethical hacking. Monday and Wednesday is going to be for AI, and Saturday is going to be for our weekly economics review. All right. Car says system administration is the lowest role I can think of, but system admin, it's like system admin isn't GRC though. System admin is like working in like the NOC or something like that, the Network Operation Control Center, where they might be working on servers. But GRC is like we're like writing documents and analyzing risks and stuff like that. So like it can even be like GRC can even be like 3 different roles. It can be somebody who is like a risk a risk assessor. It could be somebody who is a compliance whatever, and it could be somebody who is governance. Like like GRC is not necessarily just one role, So it's the way that they package up the sec of it, but it's not necessarily the that one particular role. So that's why, like, when searching for GRC analysts, it's hard to, because we found compliance, right? You can find a risk assessor, but you're not gonna, you might not find something that just says GRC, So, but Security Plus does sound valid though. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Yakar. He streams every day except for Friday. Let me see. I tell the truth. I'm just saying. I gotta be honest. It says, if you mention my name again without my money, we are gonna have a problem. Whoa. That escalated quickly. Should I play your song? It says, what do you think about that job at GS15 level? You know what, Magnus, why are you trying to flex? You know that I don't know anything about your GS15. You know what, Magnus, do you want to come up and explain? You want to come answer your own question? Because I know you know what the answer to that question is. You want to come and explain GS15 level? I don't know what that means, Magnus. Chris says, that's the part that sucks. Even once we get our certificates, we still might not qualify, even with other degrees. It's baffling, and that's why it's all about the strategy, Chris. It is all about the strategy, how you market yourself. You are your own business, right? Because here's what I see. People who, and I'll say this, right? I know you guys don't know Ferris, right? Because he hasn't been here in a while. But he is like honey and flies when it comes to getting cybersecurity jobs. He's not here because he's probably working his 6th job right now. Somehow he put in a lot of work and he marketed himself. He did projects and stuff like that. And when he speaks with these on these different interviews and stuff, he is relatable. He is marketable. He's showing, like, he's making, like, what I always say, when you're interviewing, you have to make the person interviewing you say, wow, I didn't see that. Your resume has to be on point. So what I was gonna say, right? I've seen so many terrible resumes, like, especially like, it's like, oh, I've done this and I've done that. I'm like, well, you know what, Chris, your resume looks like every other person's resume who wants to be in cybersecurity, who wants to be in software engineering, who wants to be in QA. What makes you stand out from the other people? So you have to do something that makes you stand out. And that's why here on this channel, I spend, like, every show is like 2 hours. We're working on something. We're on Thursday, we're going to spend 2 hours getting into ethical hacking, building out, setting up our Kali Linux and stuff like that. And then once we do that, like, okay, you know what? How can I apply what I've learned to something that I've built, right? So how can I ethically hack my own application? Maybe ethically hacking one of my sites or the time cost calculator. I don't know. But as I move, I'm like, oh, okay, how can I apply this to my own stuff, right? Like another example, like the large language model, right, that we do on Monday and Wednesday. How can I apply what I am learning in the course to stuff that I use? How can I build my own stuff so that I can have talking points? You have to you have to sell yourself. You have to market yourself. You have to sell what you can do. Especially if you are entry level trying to get in, you have to differentiate yourself from the other 1,000 people who are applying for the same job that you're applying for. That starts with your resume. That starts with how you communicate. That goes with the question that you ask. Since you signed up for the Patreon, Chris, I have a video in there that's talking about, like, when you're interviewing and stuff, the questions that you actually ask, right? And giving interview tips and stuff like that. You have to market yourself. There is no way around it, because guess what? Nobody's gonna care that you just graduated, you're looking for a job. Take it from me, somebody who's been in tech for 20 years. We don't care. I personally don't believe in giving chances, right? I don't believe in, you have to earn it. So you have to differentiate yourself from everybody else, all right? I know I spent some time on that, but I just have to drill that in, all right? That's G13 classified, buddy. Says GS15 is the highest level, right? Oh, look at Mitch knowing his stuff. All right. Did YouTube block the link? Oh, I didn't know you sent a link. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how YouTube is with that. It says Don says GRC is boring. Go red team threat hunting and modeling. I don't know about the red team. Wait, is it red team is good? Which one is the bad one? Is black team bad? Red team good? I get confused with these names. Let me see. Oh, look at Mitch flexing on behalf of his cousin. My cousin is a GS14, but he's stopping there. He just cruising now. Okay, flexing on behalf of his cousin. Let me see. Says Magtar got any advice? Let me see. Studying for the Security Plus is a B. I heard that test is not very, very friendly, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm sure like you here's something I'll tell you. This is a tip I always give to people, right? Stop focusing on just trying to pass a test for certification. You have to focus on understanding and knowing what is on the test, what you're studying. You can't just try to like, okay, this means this and like memorize it, because guess what? They shift the question a little bit and it's gonna be a hassle. You need to know it, like, because guess what? You get out there on the field and you have your Security Plus, you get out there on the field, like, so now what if you get your Security Plus, right? And now you're interviewing and they're asking you different questions and now you like when I see somebody hesitate when I'm asking them a question, I just totally forget. Like, I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about. So that's why I say, like, yes, you're studying for your certification, but you need to understand and know it. You need to know it, because if not, like, getting your cert is one thing, getting a job is a whole other thing. And for me, when I see you start to stumble and hesitate and stutter, right? Unless you have a stuttering problem, right? But if I see you start to get nervous and shaky because I ask you a question that I believe that you should know, if it's something that's tough and out there, I'm like, okay, I just wanted to push it a little bit, right? But if it's something basic that you should know, I'm done. All right, so.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
Chris, you're here. I will tell you, like, that is one thing I will always tell you the truth. All right. Let me see. So Magnetar answers Chris's question, says you'd have to keep tailoring your resume to the IT positions you're looking for. Also, I've heard that that have the Security Plus certification is what they want. That's part of what they want. That is a bullet point of what they want. It is a criteria, but trust me, whether it's federal or not, they want more, right? They want more. Let me see. It says, I'm 43. I'm 8. You do look pretty young, Magnetar. but to be fair, I'm 40. I'm actually turning 41 this year, so I'm right up there with you, Magnetar. I'm right up there with you. We got Cartier 82 in the building. And I'm taking my exam next month to be a Scrum. What? You're gonna take your exam for a Scrum Master? That is awesome. You took your 16-hour, or is it still 16 hours? Let me know. Is it still 16 hours? It used to be 16 hours, 2-day course to like, and then you take your Scrum Master certification. I love Scrum Masters. I actually have a question for tonight about Scrum Masters, if we can actually get to it. You know what I mean? But that's awesome. You know what? After you pass Cartier 82, you come back here and we will have a party and a celebration. And I might even have a song to celebrate your victory. I love it. That is amazing. So shout out to you, Cartier 82. That is amazing. Let me see. I'm taking Professor Messer exams to practice for Security Plus. All right, so here's my question to you, Chris. How are you applying it practically? I understand you're taking the exams and stuff like that. And I know I know somebody who, like, they take the exam over and over and over again for different certifications until they get this particular score. my question to you, how are you applying it practically? Because what I do for the people that I'm coaching, I'm like, all right, cool, take your exams. Here's a project. Go and do this. Go and deploy this to you're studying for your Azure certification. Great, study for it, no problem. Go and go and deploy this application for me. Right? Because if you have a certification, right, but then now you come to apply for, keeping on Azure, I want to be like some DevOps person. So all right, how do you I need you to go and deploy this, and you don't know how to do it. I'm like, well, I'm happy you got your certification, you know how to pass the test, but you can't do the job that I need you to do. So and these things are massive, right? So that's why I want to know, how are you practically applying what you are learning, right? How are you putting it into use? Because you pass a cert, happy for you, right? But I don't want you to go and pass a test and then you don't know how to use it, and then they tell you,
congratulations, you played yourself.
We don't do that here. Magnestar says, guess what? Ralph's gonna take your wrench. All right. So I can never take Mitch's wrench. However, Magnetar, however, I could give you a wrench. Oh, you want to post a link? Magnetar, I got you. I got you, Magnetar. I got you. Let's just do it like this. Where? Boom. And let's go. Boom. All right, Magnetar. You have been knighted, Magnetar. You have been knighted. Oh my God. You guys are crazy. So much chat. Oh my God. All right. It says that my schedule doesn't allow me to have streaming schedule. Sunday is the only guaranteed day. I had to work around it. I had to work around my schedule. That's me still going to jiu-jitsu every day, Monday through Friday. Streaming, coaching, working, all that type of stuff. So I just had to work around it. Let me see. Do knock and SOC. Let me just get through these. Do knock and SOC first and learn the company, then make a move to GRC. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Let me see. That doesn't mean Mitch doesn't mean that. All right. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here, and then we are going to get to our next question because we have a lot in the chat. We're gonna get to our next question. Let's get to our next question, and then we'll run it up from there. Right. So next question is
another one.
Will QA engineers outlast software developers? Wow. So this person says, I think QA has a better chance of outlasting software development. I got hired in QA during the peak of post-COVID hiring surge when I was completely lost in my career. Whoa. I was pretty resentful for the longest time. I missed out on being a developer during those critical years after graduation of 2018 to 2022, considering I make a low salary. Okay, I hear you. I am returning to work tomorrow with a fresh perspective after talking to my childhood best friend. Oh, that's so sweet. Aww. He thinks devs are going away for good, but he also doesn't know much about coding. Or that's where you want to get your opinion from. Okay, I got you. All right, hey, it is what it is, because now I think long-term testing will have more jobs than development. I don't think coding jobs will necessarily go away. I was trolling in a previous post saying coding is done, but I do think the heyday of software developers is over, just like the heyday of network admins was in the late 90s. But I think AI-based roles will become the new hot tech job. Testing on the other hand, I don't think is going to change much in terms of demand and salary adjusted for inflation. I mostly think this is because when AI makes all this code, we still need people to test that code. And AI could possibly help make automated exhausted testing easier and much more efficient. I think there's a good chance manual testing will make a comeback as well. Whoa.
Do not come.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I have a decent job during this downturn because during the boom times, I really struggled. A lot of this had to do with personal circumstances and living in a tech dead zone. But I digress. I got turned down for a new grad program in college for an insurance company, and I think there is a chance I may have been laid off from that job at some point. I won't say which industry, but my current job, despite only paying $60K, what? Is secure. That's what you think. You think your job is secure. It isn't. There's nothing is secure. My company tries to avoid losses. Well, that's a good thing to try. Try to avoid. All right. As we've seen in recent days, losses can come in all shapes and sizes. All right. So good job for your company trying to avoid lawsuits. So if I were to start to perform bad, they would just put me on a PIP. Just put me on a PIP, huh? Okay, I got you. That's what we're doing here, right? Otherwise, I can only be fired for cause. Okay, must be one of Magnetar's friends working for the federal government if they think that, I can only be fired for cause. Don't just put me on a PIP, an indefinite PIP. No worries. All right. See, that is the type of thing that gets you messed up, right? I think I'm just going to ride the automation train while I can and see where AI takes us in the second half of this decade, because at the very least, I'll be better off than a bootcamp grad who only knows React and Node.js. That might be the truest thing that you said. All right, so let me give my thoughts on this. So here's the deal. I do not think that QA will outlast developers because you will. All right, look, let's put it like this. If you can automate out developers via AI or whatever, then you can certainly get rid of humans when it comes to software development and stuff like that. I mean, with testing. All right. So I think the two go together. But here's the deal, right? The fact that manual testing is needed at a much lower scale than it was 10 years ago, and the fact that in any company, right, the ratio of software engineers to QA, it's always at a healthy number is 3 or 4 developers to 1. Some companies have maybe 6 to 8 developers to 1 QA person. So for you to say that the QA is going to outlast developers, it has never happened before. Back in the days, there used to be a bunch of QA people just running around, writing out test cases and writing in and like doing manual testing over and over again. And then jerks like me came around and we started automating stuff, right? I'll admit it. I am one of those that I will take your job. I will take your job. Some people might try to take your girl or something like that. Nope, I will take your job because I don't need you, right? I want that money. So I come around and I say, you know what? I can do the job of 100 people in about 10 minutes, right? And it's like, oh, so that means that we can get rid of, we can keep a few of these manual testers going, have to do some exploratory testing and stuff like that. But if we get people to automate, the developers can do more, and we can have a process in place to test it. And on the drop of a dime, we can have it on a schedule where at 2:00 in the morning, our tests are running. By the time we get it to work, we see the results and we can review it and fix what needs to be fixed. If there's something is broken, we do that. All right. Guilty as charged. I'm guilty. And guess what? I don't feel bad about it, right? Because you have to evolve with the time. And it is all about value, making money, ROI, all that, right? Because guess what? I want my stocks to go up. So do I think that QA is going to outlast development? I don't think so, because it hasn't been. You will never find more QAs than developers. Now, AI is going to play a big part, but the developers that I work with, they're exploring how to integrate AI into their workflow. But at the end of the day, AI is prompting. It's what you put into it determines how good you get out of it, right? I had an example on Saturday morning show where we built the economic we're reviewing some information, and the prompt that I had to get an example was not the greatest, so I went into the code and I modified it, and then I got a great example after that. So it's not about like who's going to be replaced. And guess what? Here's where the developers hold the leverage, right? Because they already know how to code, they just adjust and shift. Or AI just starts to give a lot more people the power to start building their own stuff. You know, in my workflow, which is I mentioned this yesterday morning, which with the large language model course, what I'm going to end up doing is building something out where I can automate my whole workflow of, because I use AI for a lot of my workflow, like when it comes to video descriptions, when it comes to thumbnail generation, all that, right? And I'm like, well, and AI even gets anyone to be in the role of developer. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to build something where I just pass in the idea of what the video is about, and then it's going to generate the description, the title, the thumbnail, the keywords, the thumbnail description, and then send the thumbnail description into the software that actually uses AI to generate the thumbnail, right? And I can even pass in, okay, I want like just randomly, I want this thumbnail to have this type of demographic. I want this thumbnail to have that type of demographic, and automate that whole thing. And then now we come into some software development where connects to the YouTube API to pass in this title, pass in this description, pass in these keywords, pass in this thumbnail, right? So I don't see developers going. I actually see developers getting more empowered, to be honest with you, because now with the right tools, you can have a smaller team and you can be more innovative and you can create more stuff, right? So I do not see developers going away whatsoever. But guess what? I'll tell you one last thing before we move on. One last thing, right? One last thing. People already, like, this is not good, but especially startups and people who are working on small projects, they already don't value QA. They already don't value QA. So if you have a cushy $60,000 job, which you have no desire to grow in and stay exactly where you are, then I guess you're safe. But I don't know many people who just want to say, I just want to see that 60 forever for the rest of my life. Because if I screw up, they'll just put me on a PIP. I'm like, okay, well, I guess everyone has their own definition of winning.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And we're out. All right, we're gonna do one more, and then I will get back to the chat. All right, so let's do one more because we're getting back up here. We're getting back up, right? So let's get one more on the table.
Another one.
Where to find legit work from home jobs? Well, happy Magnetar is here because that is definitely going to help. It says, I've been trying to land work from home jobs to no avail. I couldn't find one. It's always either a pyramid scam or a crappy job requiring me to pay money before I can withdraw.
Bruh.
Can you suggest legit sites, please? All right, so that's our question. That is our question. So on behalf of Magnetar, I'm going to suggest usajobs.gov. All right, let's start a timer. On behalf of my guy, Magnetar, my newest moderator, Magnetar, I'm going to suggest usajobs.gov. All right. So here's the deal. All right, here's the deal. All joking aside, not really, but fair enough. Where do I find legit work from home jobs? Well, you don't, right? You go on any other job board like LinkedIn and what's their name? Glassdoor. Maybe. I'm not really a fan of Indeed, to be honest with you. Unless always a disclaimer, unless Indeed says, hey, we want to sponsor you and give you the bag, then I'm the biggest fan of Indeed that there ever was. But until then, I am not a fan of Indeed, right? I've seen some people doing scams on there and stuff like that, right? But if you're trying to land a work from home job, the reason you probably can't land a work from home job is because it is an employer's market right now. A couple of years ago, it was an employee's market. Today, it's employer's market, right? And number two, you probably don't qualify for a work from home job.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So for all you, and I'll tell you this, right? I spoke to somebody last year and they wanted to transition into QA and they said, but it has to be remote. I'm like, you have a high chance of it not being remote because a lot of companies are requiring to go back to office. You're new, like you haven't even learned the field yet. You haven't learned how to code yet, but you want to work from home. You want to work remotely. It probably won't happen. Your best bet of getting into the field is finding an on-site position or a hybrid position, because less people apply for that because of, location and stuff, right? And they said, you know what? I think I will find a work from home job, a remote job. I said, what makes you think that? And they responded to me that they just know it. I said, oh, my bad. Sorry that I've been in the field for the past 20 years and that I've worked in QA for the past 15 and that I, at the time, when was that? No, I was not working. I was at my current company now. I'm like, and if I was close to headquarters, I would be going into the office a few times a week, right? Although they have some amazing lunch over there, so I wouldn't mind, to be honest with you. But I digress. But I'm like, the reason that you guys keep falling for pyramid scams or crappy jobs requiring you to pay money before you can withdraw is because you don't qualify for the job that you're trying to get. So when you don't qualify, you go down the route of getting scammed because you don't qualify. So you're trying to force, right, a round peg in a square hole, however that saying goes. Or maybe it's a square peg in a round hole because the round one could fit in the square. ADD, all right? So that's why I'm telling you that you need to go through the process. If you can get a work from home job, great. It is because like I was saying, 1,000 people are applying for the same work from home jobs, and probably none of them are getting responded to, right? If you want to be in the industry, whatever that industry is, right? Your best bet is to start off on site. Last story. There was somebody that I was communicating with a year ago, right? Is it a year ago? No, it's like a year. Oh, it's about a year ago, right? September of 2023. And they were trying to get in QA. They did a boot camp. They had, and they were applying for jobs. And they were applying for jobs locally, right? And they had an interview, and they liked her, but they said that we're actually going with this other person because they have more experience. There was another job that they had applied for, but they said, you know what, I don't think I can take this because this job is, I would get paid less in QA than I was getting paid as a teacher. And I was like, that's what entry level is, to be honest with you, right? But so they didn't take that job. But then the company that had picked the person with more experience called her back and said, hey, that person they turned down the job. We would like to offer it to you. So they were working in the office Monday through Friday, right? Doing QA. And they were ecstatic. They've been killing it since then. But just recently, and at the time they were doing manual testing, and I said, hey, are you have any interest in automation? No, I'm just gonna say, a lot of people, they get into manual. If you can by the grace of God, get a job doing manual testing, and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do manual testing. I don't know how to code, yada, yada, yada. When I spoke to them a few months ago, right? And they're like, oh, I moved to this other state. I'm like, are you still with your company? Because I remember you're working on site. This is, oh yeah, because they like the work that I do. They let me work remotely, And they had me start learning automation via Playwright. I was like, what? You know, but you have to show value first. A lot of companies are actually flexible, but you have like, you do not qualify. You could probably run for president of the United States, right? But getting a remote work from home job when you have absolutely zero experience.
Do not come.
I'm just saying.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
All right, well, there goes that question. Let's wrap that one up. All right, let me see. Let me go back to the chat. So Cartier 82 said, but I'm finding out how it is most places jobs are looking for a Scrum Master in tech. They're not looking for an entry level with no experience. That is true. But I understand what you're saying. Here's the deal, right? Getting your cert is the first step, right? That's like if you want to get into the field, in this case for Scrum Master, and I'll tell you this, right? Some companies, they don't even require Scrum Masters. You know what I mean? They don't even require you to have your Scrum Master certification. If you're like going into a company, it's helpful. So now the question is, Cartier 82, how do you build that experience without having that role? How do you show that you know what you're doing, and how do you add value? That is a question that you're going to have to think about. I've helped some people with that before, but you're gonna have to think about it. It says, I said system admin for cyber. Not okay. My bad. Okay, cool. Sir, yeah, I can see that going together. It says, this guy sends money to other channels like he's somebody, but still owes me money. How much? All right, Mitch. How much I owe you? Let me know how much I owe you, and I will send it over to you. The check is in the mail. Let me see. They're also disguised as senior that is true. They're also disguised as senior project managers. I would say as a Scrum Master though, like if you have your Scrum Master cert, or like, also do a search for entry level project management as well. I'll say check for that as well. It says I was trying to send a link to a position to see what you thought of it. All right, let me just check it right now. Let me check it right now. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it on behalf of Magnetar. All right, so it says, as a global leader in public health and health promotion, CDC is the agency Americans trust with their lives. Ooh, well, that's a way to start that one off. I think some people would disagree with that. I'm not taking a position one way or the other, but in addition to our everyday work, each CDC employee has a role supporting public health. All right. So, let me see. This job is open to another announcement to the public. Career transitions. Let me see. Where's the job description? Let me see if I click on this, maybe. All right. So, eligibility. As long as you're a U.S. citizen or a national, sometimes non-citizens are eligible too. Even if you're eligible under one of the hiring paths, you can still apply to open to the public. Let me see. Where is the job description though? All right, duties. All right, so the CDC utilizes direct expedited hire authorities to fill vacancies in a variety of occupations. This vacancy is a repository of applications. Duties and responsibilities vary and may increase according to the grade level of the position. Applications may be periodically referred to hiring managers both during the open period and after the closing date. Large number of applicants anticipated. All right, so what exactly is the role? Let me see. Did they have a role at the beginning? Let me see. Public notice to direct computer sciences. All right, okay, got you. All right, so missed that. All right. So let me see. Duties. Let me see. Integrating computer science theory and fundamentals with emerging informatics and technology standards, public health practices, and policies to strengthen the CDC mission. Ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of systems, networks, and data through the planning, analysis, and development. Serving as an expert in in-depth knowledge and theoretical foundation of computer science as it applies to models for the representation and transformation of information structures. Reviewing IT security programs to assess overall compliance with cybersecurity plans and policies, as well as their alignment and business requirements. Qualifications: degree in bachelor's degree of computer science or bachelor's degree with 30 semester hours. In combination with math, statistics, and computer science. At least 15 of 30 semester hours may have included any combination of statistics. Minimum qualification for GS 12, 13, 14, 15. Telework. I mean, all in all, it looks fine. The question is, how many people are qualified for it? Because like looking at the GS numbers, you probably need some qualification for that. Bachelor's degree in computer science. They did not say a boot camp. They did not say a boot camp, right? But it looks good overall, to be honest with you. It's a federal job, so you got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be a male. If you're a male, you have to be born after. If you're a male that's born after December 31st, 1959, must be registered or exempt from selective service, right? So looks good overall, I guess. I don't have any particular feelings one way or another to it. To me, it's just a job, right? It's a cybersecurity job. They pay you. It's good for me, right? I have no particular affinity towards jobs or anything like that, right? Let me see. All right, let's keep going. Space is not optimizing my resume is probably why I haven't been able to get a different job. Quite possibly. Let me see. GS15 is great and all. Yet all right, let's keep going. So we lying. I didn't say anything about lying. I did not say anything about lying because I'm telling you, if I even sense that somebody is lying in an interview, I'm done, right? I'm done. But you have to. What I said, Chris, was you have to show that you know how to do this stuff. That's what I said. You have to be able to make them say wow by what you know how to do. Not lying, because if I sense you're lying, I'm like, and they say, oh, what do you think about that? I don't believe them. I think they're lying, and it's over. Out of there. Let me see. Oh my God. Y'all so funny. All right, let me go. I appreciate that. I'm just like, I have to. It says, I'll tab in. Awesome. I got the link. All right. It says, Matt, I don't have a way to apply it. Real talk. What programs can I use to practice and get hands-on experience? If you said this already, I apologize. I'm over here working. Let's do this. Because I have to, I will message me in the Patreon, and we'll talk about it a little bit more so I can get more details on it. And then, because that's what I do. I like the people that I coach one-on-one, I help them find ways to actually apply it. So it might be, you're gonna have to go on AWS or Azure or Google Cloud and do some security stuff. It just depends. But finding out a strategy on how to actually apply it and how to be able to talk about it, because if Ferris could do it, then I'm sure that you can do it as well, right? Shout out to my guy Ferris. It says who are here fixing stuff with trenches and stuff. It says Ralph is about to have as many. What? All right, you know what? After the show, I'm gonna get rid of everybody's runs. All right, it's after that I'm gonna get rid of everybody. No more mods. It's just gonna be me. It is just gonna be me. It is just gonna be me. It says take mine away. All right, you know what? Consider it done. I have no more mods. I will be my own mod. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go. Let me see here. Keep going. Let's see. Says, do your best not to end up on a pip. That's a fact. That is a fact. Do not. Who plans to be on a pip? I've never they'll just put me on a pip. Like, who does that? Let me see. Don says, we are getting to a point where people only understand the framework or abstraction tool. It is rare to find younger engineers that understand the core tech and the RFC under the hood.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That is facts. Let me see. Space says 100 jobs in 10 minutes is amazing. Who are you? Tech Jesus. What? What did I say? Did I say something? I don't know. Sometimes I say stuff, right? Let me see. Let me see. Does AI Rob get caught in the loop? I had to put the AI. I had to put my clone to rest, right? Let me see. Some of the jobs ask if you have been on a PIP within the last 6 months. Do they really? I believe you also have to list what happened on your clearance form. But I'm guessing that's only I guess that's within the government, right? I'm guessing. I don't know. Magnetar, why is everybody hating on you? I'm so confused. I'm appalled. Why is everybody hating on your wrench, Magnetar? You know what? Everybody's gone. Let me see. Department of Energy. Let me see. You guys follow what Magnetar is saying? Do that. Says, I'm over 100 apps in at this point on LinkedIn. Spaces? How's that resume looking, Spaces? And plus, what are you applying? Like, what are you applying for, Space? I have no idea. What are you applying for, Space? Let me know in the chat. What are you applying for? So Chris has a question. Let me. All right, let's answer Chris's question. Right. So, let me read it first. All right, let's do this. We're gonna make this a question. All right. Let's go with
Another one.
Are there any entry-level jobs where they want you to work odd hours and jobs most people wouldn't want to do? I would love to sign up for that if it gets me in the door. Well, Chris, that is a great question. I'm happy you asked. I probably could have answered this a lot faster, but I will say this. There are jobs all over, right? The question is, a lot of people, they don't necessarily want those jobs, right? So if you're open to it, there's definitely jobs. I keep mentioning Ferris because there's a lot of cybersecurity questions, right? But I know that Ferris, he would work overnight and then he would work in the morning, right? And I think he was able to try to squeeze in another job where he was working like 4 hours a day in there. He had a crazy schedule, right? But it is definitely possible because guess what? Here's what you need to understand, especially in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity does not sleep. The GRC people, the governance, risk, and compliance people, that's different because like they can have a 9 to 5. But if you are monitoring the systems and stuff like that, that's a 24-hour job. And that's why like you'll have somebody who's monitoring overnight to see because what if you are a global company? I mean, all websites are global, right? Like back in the days, websites used to shut down at 5 o'clock and then they'll turn them back on at 8 a.m. during business hours. But now websites are global. You could be like, I think one of the companies he worked for was they contracted for other companies. And so that way they would have different shifts. So let's say there's a company that is in, Taiwan or something like that, right? But they hire this particular company to do their monitoring. So you have to be up and aware. So like he would be having conversations with developers who are being mischievous, who are not following proper protocols, and he sees that coming in through the network traffic and say, hey, why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys passing this security information in? So he was actually monitoring the logs and stuff like that, whatever tool he was using. So the answer is yes. Definitely, there are jobs where you work odd hours. You can be working, throughout the night. You can, like, I think one of the jobs he was working 10-hour shifts. So it is definitely possible. Now the thing is, you have to be able to find those jobs, right? And you have to still be able to like impress. So finding the job is one thing, right? Landing the job, getting the job is a totally different thing, because the same way that you are wanting that job to get your foot in the door, there's another Chris who also wants to get his foot in the door, and maybe he's thinking like, I like how you're thinking, and that sets you apart. That gives you a better chance, right? But there's still going to be some competition because they'll still apply. People will still apply for it. So, and honestly, you might have an opportunity to find that role, because I know his roles were remote. You know, I think they wanted him to live in a particular location too, though. So it's a give and take, but I do think it's highly possible, and you just have to find it and win it. It's a competition. Everything is a competition. The person to the left of you, to the person to the right, they're competing. They want your job, right? So it's your job to go out there and get it. So, but definitely, 100% possible. 100% possible. I will wrap that question up a little bit early. All right, let's continue. Let me continue with the chat. Let me see. Get that off the screen. All right, so let me see. Mission critical jobs. Got the link. We got my guy Rod Brown in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? So you guys are saying I should not give Rod Brown a wrench. Okay, fair enough. You guys were, I got you. No wrench for Rod Brown. I got you. So Rod with the 1D is Rod Brown with the 1D. It used to be double D's. Now it's just Rod Brown with 1D. All right, I got you. And it was my intention to make it weird. Weird it was. Let me see. We got Denise in the building. What's up, Denise? I'm giving up on tech. I was laid off and I keep getting ghosted after doing interviews. I am sorry to hear that you are giving up. I would ask though, why do you think you're getting ghosted? And what position are you? What are you doing in tech? Why do you think you're going? Like, what are you applying for? Why do you think you're getting ghosted? Have you done a self-analysis? Have you done any mock interviews? Have you had your resume reviewed? I mean, if you're getting interviewed, that means your resume is decent. But have you done any mock interviews? Have you gotten any feedback? Or are you just going out there and applying and interviewing and hoping that it goes well without actually getting any practical advice or feedback on what might be going wrong in your interviews? Let me see. We got Fanny P in the building. What's up, Fanny? Let me see. It's open to the public, so it means anybody can apply. You don't have to be a federal. Okay, gotcha. It says it's embarrassing. I might have to put my tech dreams on hold and work an odd job to pay the bills. I mean, I'll say that you have to do what you have to do to pay the bills. I would say though, like, give some context of what it is that you're applying for, and you probably need to get some feedback on why you might be like getting a job. It's a job in itself, right? So a lot of times people, they just, I'm just gonna apply. The market is always changing. You need feedback, right? So and that's type of stuff I work with people on. Says I apply for IT support roles. IT support roles are hard because that's the role that everybody is like trying to get as entry level. So those are really hard to get, to be honest. But you can find out more. It says you're actually serious. I have to. Hey, you got if whatever. Anyways, I'm not taking you guys seriously. Let me see. It says, I'm not talking about you, Fanny. I'm literally saying no jokes. I don't. All right, let me see. Man, Magnetar, Magnetar, you got everybody up in their feelings. You guys don't like Magnetar. Magnetar made an amazing song. Magnetar, and you guys are like, I don't want my wrench anymore. Everybody's getting wrench. Hey, it is what it is. You know what? I agree, Mitch. I agree, Mitch. No Compassion 2025. Let me see. Says, don't know, that's on them though. It says, those jobs want you to work every weekend, on call, and graveyard shift. Well, if you are riding around in a Lambo like my guy Mitch, my best friend Mitch.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Then you don't have to work weekends, on call, and graveyard shift. But if you're trying to get your foot in the door, Chris, then you take that every weekend job, that on-call job, that graveyard shift, because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to do what other people are going to do, what other people aren't willing to do. You're going to add value, and you're going to get a lot of amazing experience so that now you can control your own future, and you're not going to be like, oh my God, I need a job. Look, Chris, you're a bag chaser, right? You have to go out there and do what you have to do to get all the bags, 0 bags fumbled. All right. Let me see. Let's see. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. Let me see. IT support. Yeah, IT support roles, they are tricky because those are like entry level roles. So that takes time. Let me see. Nobody said we didn't like him. Where is this? Cause you guys got all your patties in a bunch talking about take my wrench. Everybody's getting this. What is going on? I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened? What happened? All right, let me see. I see the pattern. It is. I got you. You know what, Magnetar? I got you, Magnetar. I got your back, Magnetar. I got your back. It's too many messages, all right? We have a show to do, Mitch. Mitch, we have a show to do. See you on Saturday morning, Mitch. I'll see you for ethical hacking, Mitch. Will I see Mitch? I was disappointed, Mitch. I was disappointed that I did not see you for the large language model yesterday. Using Python. I was using Jupyter notebooks. I was using Anaconda, and you were not there, Mitch. And I was heartbroken. Mitch. If I had feelings, I would be hurt. But I'm probably not alive. My heart is cold anyways. It's cold, black, and dead. So I was like, well, maybe next time. But I'm hoping to see you there tomorrow morning, Mitch. All right. Anyways, let's get to the next question of the night. Let me see. Where are we now? So we are here. So let's do the next one.
Another one.
Advanced software testing careers. Number 5. All right. So advanced software testing careers, transitioning from manual/API testing to penetration testing. What? It says, I've been working in software testing for about 5 years, mainly focusing on manual and API testing. Now I'm studying for the advanced ISTQB certification. What? In test automation and thinking about transitioning into penetration testing or security testing. Any advice on making the shift, and what certifications or resources would be helpful for someone with my background? I did not see that coming. I did not see the ISTQB at the advanced ISTQB certification in test automation. So I will tell you this, right? Let's start the clock. I, per se, have been doing automation testing since 2011. I started with a tool using a tool called QTP, Quick Test Professional by HP. They later changed the name to Unified Functional Testing. Very clunky, very expensive software. I would not recommend it to anyone, even if they were to offer us. I'm not going to say that. If they offer a sponsorship, that's a different story, right? That is a different story. But I would not recommend that tool. Then I transitioned using Selenium. I learned Java, Selenium, got better at it, all that good stuff. Then I learned a bunch of other stuff, right? Nowhere did I ever think about getting an advanced ISTQB certification in test automation, let alone a basic ISTQB certification in anything else, right? I have done more automation than I could even think about, right? I automate everything. I even have a robot that cleans the house, for God's sake, right? Which uses AI, by the way. So I don't think you like, and to add, unless Don, let me know what you think, right? Unless you think that this type of certification has anything to do with penetration testing, I do not think so. I do not think that the ICQB automation, test automation, has anything to do with penetration testing or security testing. Totally different domain. So when it comes to penetration testing, what I would say is join us on Thursday night when we're going to get started. So when we're going to start learning penetration testing, we're going to be doing, and if you're watching the clip of this, go back to the playlist for penetration testing for ethical hacking, right? We're going to actually learn it and apply it. And then, because for me, the very last thing I think about is certifications. I'll give you a quick example. We spent about a year learning Terraform, right? And a year into it, I'm like, you know what? I could probably get Terraform HashiCorp certified because all the work that we did on AWS and everything like that. And then I was like, after we were done with Terraform and I actually deployed something and it's still running to this day on AWS, I was like, let's just move on to DevOps. I don't care. Because I know how to do the work. A lot of times people want to get the certification when they don't know how to do the work. But then for me, once I know how to do the work, I couldn't care less about the certification. Unless it was for a job that required the certification. Like I could probably invest some time and get AWS certified with the amount of work I've done on AWS. But like I've done Route 53, I've done load balancing, I've messed with subnets, I've done it through Terraform. I've logged in, I've done the containers and the EC2 instances, all that good stuff, right? But because I know how to do it and I know how to research, I know how to find it, I know how to find like guides on how to do what I need to do. I use it at work. I'm logging into AWS, all this type of, I use the identity and access management. I don't think about, oh, you know what? I should get certified in it because the work that I do is not, now, if I am looking to work, like if the job I'm looking to do says, hey, we want this certification, then I'm going to go get it. So, and for test automation, right? Unless you're working for a government contractor who, because they don't understand, like because the government doesn't understand the tech space like that, so they value these certifications, right? Like we saw, like looking at the requirements for the job that Magnetar, that my newest moderator, Magnetar, sent me, right? They're like, it's very, very specific about like the bachelor's degree and this credit hours and this field. Like they look at that, right? But in the real world, right? They'll say you need to have this degree or equivalent experience, right? So certs depend on the company. Do they help? Sure. But if you don't know how to do the work, then the cert doesn't help. If you know how to do the work, then and you have the cert, that helps. But if you can prove what you know, then certs, There is no job that I've had that they ask me for a cert or to get a cert, right? So that's why when it comes to me for certification, I'm like, it depends. It depends on the job, right? Will I help you get a cert? Yeah, I'll say, all right, do this. But I will always say the practical experience, implementation, going on the cloud, building out your lab, right? Installing Kali Linux, installing Wireshark, trying to crack your own network password and stuff like that. That is the stuff that is going to resonate and stick with you, right? So that's why I am always that's why I preach using the like finding a way to build that experience to get hands-on. Certs are I'll give you an example. From what I've heard, I haven't gone to this school, but with Western Governors University, right? The certs are a byproduct of the work that you do. It's not, I'm studying to get the cert. It's because I know how to do the work and the certs come with it, right? So, that's what I would say to that question, right? And penetration testing, security testing, great field to go into. Certifications and resources, you can look it up. But I always say it is more important to know how to do the work instead of having a piece of paper that says that, oh yeah, you passed the test. Passing a test, great. Knowing how to do the work, even better, right? So let's move on from that question. Let's throw in one more question right now, and then we will go back to the chat. Let's see.
Another one.
Oh, where did it go? What? Let's start that one over. Let's start that one over, right? Let's start that one over.
Another one.
What businesses are people creating in 2025 solo dolo? What? It says, I want to get into being an entrepreneur this year and build a business from the ground up. What are some ideas that people are working on? Any niches that are profitable? So, I do not want to say that this is going to be a failing business, right? But the mentality of it, right? Start the clock, right? So the mentality of it is, what businesses are people creating in 2025 on their own because I just want to be an entrepreneur and build something, So, and here's why I give that answer. Because my deal with whatever it is that you do, whether you're looking for a job, whether you are looking to start your own company, whether you do both, whether you have a YouTube channel, whether you have a Patreon, whether it is whatever in the world that you do, right? Whether you do hair, whether you clean pools, whatever, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to add value. That's it. You have to add value. So if you're looking to start something, it's what do people need? What do people want? And I think that a lot of people, they just go into any random thing without experience, without knowledge and stuff like that. And then they're like, well, I just want to start my own business. Well, easy enough. Go to your state website and open up an LLC, pay the fee, and now you have your own business, right? Now you're quote unquote an entrepreneur. But if you're thinking it's about starting your own business and not about adding value, because when you add value, the business will come. Simple as that. When you add value, the people will come. So ideas. So what ideas people are working on? It depends. Where do you live? What do you know how to do? Because guess what? It doesn't matter what you're working on. If I'm working on coaching people in tech, right? If I'm working on coaching people in tech, but you don't know anything about tech, then you can't do what I'm doing, right? If another person, like a neighbor of mine, like their family, they have a pool business, right? Cleaning pools, building pools and stuff like that, right? But if you don't know anything about construction or cleaning pools and stuff like that, then you might be able to own it and have employees, but then guess what? You're not going to know what's going on. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur solo, like there's so many different options. Any of the apps that I've created, right? I could find a way to strategize around them and like put more time into them. But for me, it's more about building it and then showing the journey and then having conversation. And that's why every Tuesday night I have these Q&A calls, the shows, so that I can have a conversation with you and let you know, like, look, that's why I started the show with being your biggest fan, right? You have to be your biggest fan. But so the question is, what value do you put out there into the world? What do you know how to do? What are you good at? And why should people appreciate it or care for it? So that, like, that's like, to me, that's always been the problem with this type of question of like, I just want to create a business. To me, it's similar to, I just want to get into tech. Well, I just want to get into tech. What do I do? Like, well, tech is a very, very large field. Have you done any research on it? I just want to get into cybersecurity. Okay, cybersecurity has so many different areas. There's GRC. There's SOC analyst. There's the cryptographer that we spoke about the other day. There's penetration testers, ethical hacking, like so many different fields, right? So it's like it's not just I want a business. What are you doing? Because I'll tell you this: what someone else is doing, it doesn't mean that you can do it. It doesn't mean at all. They might have a passion for it. They might have a drive for it, and other people might appreciate the work that they do. Yours might be something totally different. But if you're going to plan on starting a business based on what somebody else is doing, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. My content is around tech, right? Because that is my passion. I do it I do it during the day for work, doing QA and coming up with ideas, working on a Scrum team, strategizing, and then the things that I need to learn to be better at that job, I stream myself learning it. I share with you, and then we go into different routes. Like, learning DevOps helps me with my job. My job helps me with learning DevOps. Learning more about cybersecurity, penetration testing. Oh, I have more content, I have more awareness. Learning about AI and large language models. I can do my own stuff. I can help it support my job. It is a like Don says, an infinite loop for me of how I generate content, how I add value to work, how I add value to you guys, how I add value to my coaching group, to my Patreon group, all of them, right? Like, so it's how are you going to add value into the world, right? That at the end of the day, that's what a business is. The local food spot that's always packed, they add value. The movie theater, it adds value. That sports team adds value. So what is it that you are good at that will add value, right? Even people who are playing video games on Twitch, people are watching them, people are paying them, they add value. Content creators, when somebody gets a super chat, that's because they're adding value, right? So what is it that you're doing that adds value? That's it. That is it. All right. Let me see. All right. Let me talk. I got 12 minutes left. Let me see. If I do one more, that'll make our 8. I'm gonna do one more just to make our 8, and then we'll watch the chat. I'll talk to the chat. All right. So let's do one more before we get to the chat and get out of here. Remember tomorrow morning, large language models. We're going to be working on our. Oh, did I not run another question? Let me end the question. All right, let's end the question. All right, so tomorrow morning, large language model. We're going to be working on the project where we're building the web page summarizer. Looking forward to seeing you there so that we can learn together. We can run it up together. All right. So this question is gonna hit home for Cartier 82. You're gonna like this question, Cartier. So let's make this the last question of the night. All right. So let's get to it.
Another one.
Being a Scrum Master is driving me crazy. What? Just had to vent about this. It's seriously a roller coaster. Cartier 82. Look what's coming, right? You don't says you those those sprint reviews where everything just flows perfectly? The team's self-organizing like a pro, velocity is through the roof. And impediments are getting knocked down left and right. Those moments make me feel like some serious agile guru who actually knows their stuff. But then reality hits hard. Got stakeholders breathing down my neck, wanting status updates every 5 minutes. What happened to our daily stand-ups? Trying to push their way into sprint planning and treating our sprints like mini waterfalls. And don't get me started on protecting the team from scope creep. Feels like playing defense in a soccer match sometimes. The real kicker, when you're doing your job right and the team is humming along, nobody notices because that's how it should work. But the second that one story misses acceptance criteria, suddenly everyone got opinions on how to run the ceremonies better. Oof, that's a rough one. Anyone else feels this way? So I will say this, right? Let me start a timer for our last one, right? I will say this. Being a Scrum Master, Cardio 82, let me let you know right now, it is not an easy task, right? A lot of times they'll make it seem like, oh, they're just doing this, they're just doing that, they're just organizing meetings and stuff like that. It is not an easy task. I have worked with some absolutely amazing Scrum Masters for the past X amount of years, right? And I've heard an example that being a Scrum Master is like herding cats, right? Trying to get all the cats in line together. But I will say this though. A good team, they really, really do appreciate their Scrum Master. And a lot of times they don't know what they have until it's gone. All right. So I think that with the sentiment of like, oh, the second that something goes wrong, then everyone has an opinion on how to run ceremony better and stuff like that. I think that one of the things that we do is we like every quarter we set working conditions for like how the team is going to work with one another. And in every retrospective that we do where we're reviewing how things went, what went well, what didn't go so well, what we can do, what we want to continue doing, what could be done better. We always start off with saying that like, whatever we're going to talk about, we're talking about the process of making it better. And we're not talking about anybody in particular. And I think that's a good foundation. I think me personally, I want Scrum Masters who are empowered. I want Scrum Masters who will who strike a right balance of letting the team lead, but also when we start to veer off track, that they are going to rein us back in, right? Because if you leave it to us, developers and product owners, product managers, and QA people, we're just gonna go crazy. Like being a Scrum Master drives you crazy because you prevent us from going crazy. That's the best way to put it. That is the best way to put it. That's why it's a very sometimes it might feel like a thankless job, but know that you are appreciated. And I've seen when losing a Scrum Master, how difficult it could be for the team to come up with good ways to continue to get better every sprint. From maybe trying to put in too much stuff into a sprint. It's because we are ambitious. Like us developers and QA people, we're like, this doesn't seem like too high. We can do this. And then we go off the rails, and then it doesn't end well for us. So, but it is part of the life, right? It is part of the life of a Scrum Master. But I think that as you get more comfortable doing it, as you're going to build resiliency, you're going to build experience, you're going to build ways to strategize and help the team so that they can definitely work more cohesively. But you're going to also find ways to protect the team. You're going to work with your product owner, your project manager closely on what's the team's capacity. There's a formula for it, right? And there are some major companies who they are looking to hire really, really strong Scrum Masters who will work with these software development teams. And I think that if you are getting some pushback by trying to help the team work in a very good way, then that's a good thing. A lot of times we get afraid of getting pushback, but my Scrum Master, one of the best things that my Scrum Master does is that they stir the conversation to make us think. Like, have you guys thought about this? What do you think about that? Why do you think that happened, right? And then now we really start to reflect on it and say, I don't know. And typically, it might be a uncomfortable conversation to get into, but the fact that we're trying to avoid it and our Scrum Master pushes us towards it so that we can like make sure that the team is working smoothly and cohesively, a well-oiled machine. Everything doesn't always go 100%, but I think that when you start having like people trying to bully their way in, trying to scope creep, or trying to like second guess you because some acceptance criteria is missed, that's when you put your Scrum Master foot down and say, look, this is our team, we're handling it, and we're gonna take care of it. All right. So that is my thought. I think Scrum Masters are absolutely amazing. It is a wonderful, wonderful job, and they are like amazing people, right? So shout out to all of the Scrum Masters out there. We're gonna wrap that question up. And we're gonna end the night by reading through the chat. Let me see. Wait. Somebody's calling. Who's calling? We got Rod Brown with the 1D calling in. All right, let me bring up Rod Brown. Let me bring up Rod Brown before I read the chat. Oh, all right. Hold on, Rod Brown. Let me get you on screen. Let me get my headphones on because I don't want that feedback in the mic. Let's do this, Rod Brown. Hold on. And let me put it on that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. Let me pull up Rod Brown. And screen share. What's up, Rod Brown? How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
I am doing spectacular.
No, my apologies. I came in at the buzzer beater. I know you're about to wrap up.
No, we good.
I had an interesting question for you.
What is your interesting question, Rod Brown?
All right. So I know you've been talking a lot about remote jobs, and I know a lot of people in the chat were talking about remote work. But I had a buddy of mine that is a UI UX designer, and he literally told me today that he works remotely. And he works on a marketing team, probably roughly around, let's say, 40 people. And they just got a new senior vice president. And he had a personal conversation. I guess it's a new senior vice president. And she pretty much just had a conversation with him talking about, I just wanted to get a feel about everybody's job. And I'm observing to see what kind of changes that she's going to be making.
Did she ask him? Did she ask him? So what would you say you do here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you do? What is your job? Like, tell me what your job does, like on a day-to-day basis. So my question to you is, with him being a remote worker and majority of his team also being remote, should he be worried?
All right. So I kind of spoke about this. Forgot where, but the way I feel about jobs is, I mean, unless you work for a union or federal government or something like that, you should always be on your toes. You should always, stay updating your resume, stay seeing what's out there. Don't get caught by surprise, because even if it wasn't new, what if the company was going through hardship, right? And they had to start laying people off. That comes like unexpected, right? So, like, what options does he have? Like, because it might be like, oh, like, do they live? Does he live like close to the office, or like fully like remote away from the office altogether?
I'd say about 2 hours from the office.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
Be like, I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen, but there is never a time that you should not be prepared, right? Like, you always have to be ready. So, I don't think it matters that the person had that conversation and asked, right? Because
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Well, I guess we gotta go. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
No, but like yeah. So you always have to be ready. Well, because I had this conversation, I don't know where things are gonna go. It's I mean, it's take it as a heads up, right? Take it as a let me always be on guard. Let me see what's out there, and because guess what, you might look and you might get a better opportunity anyways. You know what I mean? So, but
that's true.
for me, I'm like always be ready, always be ready to pivot if that comes. Keep your resume updated. Make sure you're enhancing your skills. Make sure you're staying
Mhm.
up to date with the latest trends, and go from there. Honestly, like
Yeah.
that's what you always got to do. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I kind of told him the same thing. I said when he spoke to me about it today, I said, "It's time to update that resume, big dog." Because you never know. You really never know. I've been through a situation like that before where people come in and make sweeping changes. Doesn't matter how long you've been on the team and this, that, and the third. They're looking at is what you're offering to the team in order to make it run leaner for their new, particular format. So um, just update and be on your toes, man. Like especially with
And
the remote work.
with that question as well, like if they ask you like questions like that, then are you able to articulate what value that you bring? Like at the end of the day,
Right.
like if can they do it without you? I mean, if that's the
Hmm.
question, then you know. But the same way that the company can get rid of you, you got to be able to get rid of a company.
That's
That's how I
true.
feel about it.
That's
I'll
true.
say this too. Like I remember 2 years ago. So yeah, 2 years ago. Actually, 2 years ago, December 31st, the company that I was working for, that was the
Mhm.
last day for just about everybody in the company. Right? They closed
Mm,
down. They kept like a very very small amount of people on
mhm.
contract to do some like additional work. And the first interview I had, right, I was not prepared for that interview whatsoever. Like the guy asked me like a basic question. I was like, because like the thing is, I've been working on this stuff for like 10 years, right, at that
Right,
time.
right.
So it's not like I memorized all the like I just know how to do it. So he asked me a basic question. I'm like, oh man, like I answered it, but I struggled to answer. I was like, you know what? After that, I was always ready. I was always ready. Like, so
Right.
it's you can't let your guard down. You cannot let your guard down by any means necessary.
Definitely not in these times. You gotta make sure you, keep your head on a swivel. That's what I learned.
Yep. Yep. So and you have to another thing is like based on what you have like what you're good at, what you learned, what you've built the past however many years,
Mhm.
you gotta also see are you leveraging that to do your own stuff as well? You know what
Mm.
I mean? So that's very important as well. That's very important to be able to leverage. You need leverage, what can you do like for me like based on all the stuff that I learned now I'm sharing it with other people, I'm streaming about it, I'm learning new things, coaching people so that they can optimize their position. So
True, true. Very true. So, yeah, I just wanted to get your perspective on that because I know it's been a big topic about, remote jobs, especially with a lot of government workers being called back into the office and other jobs
don't
forcing
don't
people to
say
come
that
back into the
don't
office. Yeah.
don't say that too hard.
Hey.
Magnetar is still here, right? Don't say that too
I
hard.
get it, but I don't
He's
I don't
gotta
wanna break his heart. I don't wanna break his heart, but I mean, hey, just saying, might wanna
I
get
know, but
ready,
you,
Magnetar.
you can't break my newest mod's heart, all right? You cannot break my newest mod's heart.
My apologies. Don't
Well,
listen to me, Magnetar.
apparently, I have a vacancy because two people said they don't want to be they don't want to be moderators anymore.
Lies.
They said they don't want to be anymore. So
Man,
I might have an opening.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Oh my god! You want to read the rest of these chats with me as we wrap up? I don't know if you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go,
Let's
but
go
all
ahead.
right. Let's
Mhm.
see. So, let me see. What does Chris say? It says, "Oh, for sure. I'm already working 16 hours a day now." Oh my goodness, Chris. Oh,
Mm.
how about getting after it? So I
Mhm.
have no care about graveyard shifts. There you go. That's how you separate yourself by being willing to do what other people are not willing to do. Right. So,
Right, right.
uh,
I know somebody that actually worked 2 jobs at the same time. sometimes you just got to maximize what you can do.
We'll not mention that again.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna do that again. Yeah.
Then he says, y'all should advise me. I don't really like coding. I just want to upskill. What domain should I choose? I want to make money. Well, so when it comes to making more money, it is about what can you do that the person sitting next to you cannot do, and that is what's going to pay more money. Coding is one of the ways that people make more money because a lot of people don't like to code. Like not everybody can build amazing websites like Rod Brown can. Rod Brown with 1D, by the way. Not many people can do automation like I can. So if you don't like coding, you need to find out what other people also don't like. Because me, I run towards stuff that people don't like to do because it just means like the field is so much more open, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me learn that. A lot of people don't like Terraform and DevOps. Oh, let me go and learn Terraform. Let me go and learn DevOps. You know, just and trying to stay ahead of the game. So now I'm like, oh, let me learn about these large language models. How can I implement it into my own stuff? So I understand like you don't like coding, but honestly, it really doesn't matter
It's
it doesn't matter what you like.
it's the backbone of tech, honestly. Like learning how to do that. There are jobs within tech that may not require coding, but you know, I wouldn't necessarily go for those particular type jobs because all you're doing is just assisting the people who have to do those particular positions. But you want to be that person that's more knowledgeable than everybody else. So, um, ah, I don't, I'm not
I
too sure
mean,
about that.
it's a tough question because it's
Yeah.
like it really doesn't matter what you like or don't like. It's
Mhm.
what can you do that somebody else can. That's how I look at it, right? Can I do
Right.
something that somebody else can? Okay, I'm gonna do it because that means it's more money for me, right?
Mhm.
Um, so Anton says, what does Anton say about your feelings, right? Well, not
Forget your
repeated here,
feelings.
but there you go. Thank you.
Forget your feelings.
Thank you for making it PC. Let me see. Since I was there, you were. I don't believe Mitch. I don't believe him. I don't remember talking to Mitch yesterday. You know what, Mitch? You weren't even on Talk That Tech yesterday. So I know I didn't see you because you weren't on Talk That Tech. Trey was there, but you weren't there, Mitch. I'm just saying. Don says for penetration testing, you need to be neurodivergent. Big words, all right? Where's the wealth of the journey? Neurodivergent. Traditional testing is a set of strict rules to assert our true false. Pen testing is more effective when you use fuzzy anti-patterns to detect edges. We're going to be learning what that means. If you don't know what that means, we're going to be learning what that means on Thursday when we start ethical hacking, all right? I'm just saying.
You're gonna have to decipher that one. Bring it down to a C student perspective because I have no idea. But I got you, Don Johnson. I got you.
Thursday, we're going to figure out what that means, all right?
Right.
Chris says, how do we get one-on-one session to get guidance on hands-on experience? Send me a message in the Patreon, Chris, and I will get with you. We'll get a quick call and we can, because I need to get more details about the Security Plus thing so that I can, because what I do, like when people that I'm working with, they like the person I'm working with, Azure, I go and find something to do. So it might be like, if it's for Security Plus, find out like what you're learning in Security Plus and then find, okay, what project can we do for Security Plus where you're maybe doing some type of networking types of, I don't know. It just depends on what Security Plus involves. So we'll definitely talk about it. Send me a message and we'll chat. Monica says, what's up, Monica? My senior test engineer sister in the building, 100% facts. Experience really is king. Max says, experience, thumbs up. Education, on the other hand, might just be the tiebreaker. That's a good point too. Because if you have the same level of experience, then they're going to go by the criteria. Like if all things are equal, right? Then they're going to go by the criteria that they have set for the resume or for the job description. And do they like you, right? That's a big part of it. Are you a cultural fit?
Mhm.
That's a big part of it.
Huge part.
Robert, you know, I have to take you off screen because your lighting is better than mine right now. I have to take. Why did I bring you? I should have brought you up. It says, Monica says, I don't know. Education, from what I've noticed, has been lacking. Not sure what some folks are learning in school, to be honest. That's a good point. That is a good point. Monica, I will tell you this, right? I will tell you this. And I say this with all due respect to everyone, right? What I see happens a lot is people will go to school for who knows what degree, and they'll pay $100,000 for that degree, and they can't find a job using that degree. And then they want to go and pay $5,000 for a QA boot camp. And then they're like, I'm going to get into QA making $100,000 after I pay $5,000 within 3 weeks. So that's what I see. I don't know what you see, Monica. I don't know what you see, Rod Brown with 1D. I don't know.
Listen, I know somebody that went to college and majored in English.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna leave it right there. English.
Did they write their first novel yet?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
No.
Magnetstar says easy by working from home. I love Magnetstar. Cartier with the sad faces about the whole Scrum Master thing. That's a good question. That is a good question. Is it your job or your team? That's for the Scrum Master question. See, but it doesn't seem like it's the team. It seems like it's the outside influences of the team for that Scrum Master question. So we shall see. Let me see. Monica says, I've worked with really good ones, and those that don't have a clue make things harder than they need to be and stress the whole team out. That can happen as well. Luckily, I've worked with pretty good Scrum Masters in my past. Says, I used to be a sales manager, so I can understand. Let me see. Do you have a team member who acts like they're the smartest person in the room? Ooh, we're not going to answer that question. Let me see. Not on my current team, but have had them in the past. Deal with more people outside the team than often act that way. That's a good point. Agreed. Let me see. You used to work with a know-it-all. Let's roll through this. Are you, Mitch, are you bragging or complaining? Mitch, you know the answer to that question. Let me see. They have to go to court. Basically, Trump can't just end it because he didn't have copy. He's talking about the remote work. Then he says, I will replace one of the mods in a heart. Oh my God. Nobody's getting replaced. Nobody's getting replaced.
No, your car said, take my wrench. You got it, Denise.
Nobody's getting replaced. Nobody's getting your car's wrench. Say our names. We not scared. The other thing about remote work is that you can leave California to do your job in Nevada. The base pay is locality pay is lower in Nevada, so you should saving money. All right, let me see. Just because I don't always speak doesn't mean I'm not there. Silent prayer. Okay. I just be looking for my best friend. That's all. I just be looking for my best friend. I've been nice to Rod Brown too long. He has one more time before I crash out. Sorry, Mitch is a little bipolar sometimes, you know.
I know, man. I love you, Mitch, man. I love you, Mitch.
I'll tell you this, Mitch. I was talking to somebody the other day, right? And they said, "Oh, you know, like I saw that you're doing all this, like you're gonna be doing all this streaming stuff. I'm gonna come and watch." And I said, "You know what? Just a disclaimer. There is a Grinch in my chat named Mitch. He's totally harmless. It's all fun and games. He like don't let him sidetrack you. But just know he's all fun and games." I had to give a disclaimer, Mitch. All right, let me see. All right, we are done. We are done for tonight. Thank you, Rod Brown. Hold on. You can't go yet. Mitch has one more thing to say. He says, Rod Brown, if you only knew how much I try to throw alley-oops to Ralph. He does.
He does. And Mitch, you know I'm trying to turn into a leaf. Like, notice I don't even have to sign up anymore. So like that's how much I love you. You know, like that's how much I got for you. So.
All right, this is getting way too sentimental. So I'm gonna scratch that from the. Let's just scratch that from the record. But The reason that I cannot catch the alley-oops, Mitch, is because I am way too damn short. Rod Brown has seen it in person. I am way too short to catch any alley-oops, unless it is a 7-foot rim, and that might be pushing it. All right. Just saying. And Mitch says, "Love yourself, not me." See, can't win. See, and that's why Rod Brown. I said 2025. No compassion, compassionless 2025.
Can't please him. You can't please him.
Nope.
Can't please him.
Don says, "Never noticed I have a wrench. Will sell it for Bitcoin." Oh my God. Maybe I should sell wrenches for Bitcoin. Anyways, Rod Brown, I appreciate it. Always. By the way, the lights that Rod Brown made me order, I sent them all back today. So all of them went back.
I'm disappointed, but it's okay.
I tried to get lighting. I tried to get lighting like Rod Brown. It was a miserable fail. So I went back to don't go chasing waterfalls, all right? So
we'll work on it.
Yeah, so that's that. Rod Brown, appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. You take care. I'll talk to you later.
Take care. Yep.
Well, there you have it. That was my guy, Rod Brown. Let me get these headphones off because we're gonna wrap it up for today. We are going to wrap it up. Let me make sure my sound is okay. Let me see something. Nope, it is not okay. Hold on. Let me switch back. Okay. Let's do... All right, we are back. Let me see to make sure it works. All right, there we go. We are good. I'm going to get out of here. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate everybody for being here, for all the support, for all the fun that we had, all the questions. You guys asked some amazing questions. I appreciate you all. But remember, tomorrow morning, we're doing large language models. 7:30-ish in the morning, 7:30, 7:40, we're going to get started. Eastern time, join me. Let's have some fun. Let's learn about AI together. Last but not least, well, not last, second to last, ethical hacking, get the course. We're starting that on Thursday. All right, now, last but not least, remember, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You are looking at your biggest fan. You are looking at your biggest fan because I'm my biggest fan. I believe that you have to be your biggest fan, all right? With that being said, Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the
What up, AR Smitty? What up, AR Smitty? Take it easy, take it easy.
man. Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. 'Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Yo, being a boss ain't just flexing power. It's about moving right, thinking sharp, and leading from the heart. Here's the commandments, learn them, live them, lead them. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you'll never lose your way. Rule 1, don't just talk, show the grind. If your hustle ain't loud, they gon' leave you behind. A leader don't flex if the team don't shine. It's a squad thing, leave no one behind. Rule 2, stand tall, don't trip on the shade. Haters throw stones, but the real don't fade. If you crack under pressure, your crew gon' split. Be the rock in the storm, keep your squad legit. Rule 3, speak truth, even if it sting. Lies build walls, truth build wings. Respect hit different when your words stay bomb. They'll follow you forever long after you gone. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold a crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 4, listen more, talk less, observe. Wisdom hit harder when it's served by the curve. Catch the vibe, read the room, play chess, not dice. A real leader moves quiet, but precise. Rule 5, protect the squad, keep them tight. A snake in the crew can't poison the fight. Cut them off clean, don't let them linger. One fake vibe could pull the whole trigger. Rule 6, know your worth but know your flaws. A king ain't a king if he don't learn laws. Growth ain't weakness, it's the key to the crown. The higher you rise, the harder you hold it down. Rule 7, don't stunt, just play the role. Real bosses build empires, not just control. Rule 8, share the wins, don't hoard the bread. A team fed right won't turn their heads. Rule 9, be loyal, never snake your crew. The streets don't forgive when betrayal come through. Stay solid, stay real, stay real, stay real, stay real. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom. And that's the leader code. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom, and that's the leader code.